Hey there, Taurus. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Taurus for the end of the month of October 2020. This is a general love reading, so I want to remind all my viewers that this can apply to any kind of relationship, any kind of situation, any kind of circumstance that you might be dealing with. It might apply to family, home, work, social circles, friends, enemies, communities. If you can think of it, Taurus, it may apply in this reading. I also want to remind all of my viewers it's important to be flexible with the energy. You can interchange the roles within the reading, and that means you can be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards, regardless of the gender of the card and regardless of your own gender. Parts of the reading may resonate for you, other parts may not. You might feel like I'm reading for you. You might feel like you're cross-watching for somebody else instead. My intention is always to reach those that need this message and will benefit from it. So I hope you enjoy the message, Taurus, but I also hope that you get something out of it, that it's worth your time and worth your while. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we get for Taurus. Here we go. By the way, Carmela is here. She's hanging out on her cage, as you can see. She was on my shoulder, but she started to get bitey, as usual. So we're going to start off with the Seven of Wands in reverse, paired with the Three of Swords. Three of Cups in reverse, and we have the Three of Pentacles in reverse on the bottom. I just want to point that out. When the Three of Cups came out, I thought, okay, that's significant then too. Three of Swords, Three of Cups, and Three of Pentacles in reverse. Seven of Cups. The Star, Judgment in reverse, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Two of Cups. So with all the threes coming out, especially with the Three of Swords as your second card, Taurus, of course, we know that this could potentially apply to a third-party situation. We know how much we love those. They come up frequently. But let's go ahead and get that out on the table first. So this could be associated with some kind of third-party situation that you're dealing with, Taurus. It feels complicated. It feels difficult. It feels emotionally challenging. Be questioning a decision that was made or something that occurred in the past that's kind of coming up again for you. There could be some questions that have come up for you. Maybe you are revisiting a situation. Excuse me, regarding a connection. And again, this could be a third-party situation that we're looking at here. Let's get some more cards out here for Taurus. Let's see what else we get. We have the World in reverse, Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Wands again in reverse, Strength in reverse, Judgment in the upright this time, clarifying the Star with Judgment in reverse. Justice in reverse, the Page of Cups in reverse, and then we have the Two of Wands with the Two of Cups. Okay, here's what I'm seeing, Taurus. This is interesting. So The energy that I'm reading is for somebody who's revisiting a situation that occurred in the past, some kind of decision that was made, some kind of action that was taken, and whatever occurred in the past, it resulted in something that feels unjust, feels wrong, feels uncomfortable, feels like it didn't go your way. But there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity to revisit and possibly take a new path. In other words, you might be able to change the outcome of what occurred in the past. That's what I've got from these cards. This feels big. This almost feels like a second chance from the universe, which is kind of interesting. So this feels like it applies to a specific relationship or connection within a group dynamic. This could be related to family. Ten of Pentacles is my family card, but this could also indicate like a family business or a legacy, something that you've created or built for yourself that took a long time, or created or built with other people or a single person. So family dynamic, marriage, whatever, family business, something big that occurred that involves other people. It feels like it's possible that this is something that you kind of threw your hands up in the air and said, I'm done, I'm not dealing with this anymore. This can't be fixed, or I don't know how to work through this problem, so I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just going to let it go. So it might have been something you've just walked away from or let go of or gave up on. And it feels like you could be getting a new opportunity to revisit this and possibly take a new path. But the thing that's important with regard to having this opportunity, if you're going to be able to move toward it, is that you also have to be emotionally invested. You have to want it. You have to care enough to want the second chance. And it's possible that at least for some of you, you might not care enough to move toward the second chance. You might have just let this go, dropped it, left it in the past, and thought to yourself, it's just not worth it for me. And maybe you've become a little bit emotionally attached to the situation. That if you did move toward the second chance, it would almost be obligatory, or like, oh, I'm doing it because someone else expects me to, or, I mean, how many times do you get these second chances? Do I need to embrace this as an opportunity to make a different decision? Because I've already left this in the past, it doesn't matter to me anymore. So some of you might be in that boat where you're no longer emotionally invested in this, it's in the past, and you might even turn off this reading. You're like, I don't need to revisit this again. I don't care about the situation. It's said and done. And then for others of you, this could be a situation where you're revisiting something that occurred, that you left behind, that you gave up on, that you thought you couldn't invest any more into, but now something is indicating that there might be a second chance or another opportunity, and it involves a connection or a relationship. A Two of Cups relationship. So this could indicate another chance at a romantic relationship, but it doesn't necessarily, Two of Cups doesn't have to be an intimate romantic connection. It could be a connection with a friend, family member, colleague, coworker, you name it, it might apply. So let's get some more cards out here for Taurus and see what else we get. We have the Empress and the Hermit in reverse. Nine of Cups, Queen of Wands in reverse, there's the Two of Cups again, Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Moon in reverse, and we have the Seven of Cups again. So we have an Empress and a Queen of Wands on the table. These are the two separate energies that I'm picking up on so far within this reading. This Empress Energy, this is the person who walked away from a situation, gave up on it. That's still her energy now. In other words, she hasn't made any moves or decisions to do anything different. At this point in time, this is the person who walked away from a situation. Could have been a connection, relationship, third party situation. Again, it feels like it could have to do with family or a close connection of people, friends, people who work together. But she gave up on the situation, and she did it because of this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands wanted it that way. In other words, the Queen of Wands got her way. So the Empress feels like she walked away from a situation because of this Queen of Wands who seems to be the person who is responsible for whatever occurred within this group dynamic and caused some problems, but she got her way out of the deal. So she might not see this as problematic, whatever occurred, but this Empress does see it as problematic, and that's why she walked away from it. I think this Empress felt powerless against this Queen of Wands. Again, I get the strong sense that there could be an opportunity to revisit the situation, maybe choose a new path, take a different direction, alter the outcome in some way. But that is going to depend on whether or not there's that emotional investment or desire to do so. And I think that's what this reading is about. There's a sense that there is an unveiling of the feelings with regard to this situation. In other words, maybe people are finding out or communicating or talking to one another, but it feels like there's this uncovering of information or revealing feelings. Are you still invested in the situation? Do you still care enough to revisit this? Possibly go a new direction? Maybe reconnect? What does this look like for the parties involved? So that's what's in question right now, Taurus. Are the people involved in the situation still invested enough to revisit and possibly look at this again? This Empress Energy is somebody who is typically somebody who's a very nurturing individual, somebody who could potentially be a little bit more mature, or at the very least, this is somebody who's emotionally mature. This is somebody who's been around the block a few times. This is somebody who was not born yesterday. So if she's not an older individual, she's an experienced individual. She's been through life. She's lived some lessons that she has grown from. The Empress is typically somebody who, again, has taken what life has to offer, and if she's been handed lemons, she makes lemonade, or if she's unable to make lemonade, at the very least, she figured out how to make it so that the next time someone hands her lemons, she can make lemonade. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in other words, she not necessarily had, skipping through the daisies and having a really easy life, but whatever hardship she has experienced, she's learned from them. She's grown from them. I don't know what your plan is, Carmilla, but you're not going on the table. That is absolutely not going to happen. And I can feel that's where, I'm not going to lean down so that you can get on the table. That's not, in fact, I think you should go back onto your cage. She'll be back over here if she feels like it. She doesn't usually take no for an answer. She's a little bit like this Queen of Wands. This Queen of Wands doesn't take no for an answer. When she's in the reverse, she gets her way. She doesn't care if other people want the same thing she wants. She's going to get her way. She doesn't care if it makes other people miserable. If she wants something, She's going to get it. Hard person to deal with. I think that's what this Empress said. You know what? I can't put up with this kind of energy. It's just not my thing anymore. I've already done this. You know what I mean? I've already put up with relationships like this. And I really feel like this, with the Seven of Wands coming at her twice, with this Empress energy, it feels like she just like threw up her arms and say, I give up. I can't do this anymore. I'm not putting up with this crap. I'm not doing it. Let's get some more cards on the table. Carmela distracted me and I started reading what was here again, and I intended on getting more cards out. So let's get some more cards out for Taurus. We have the Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups in reverse. Justice in reverse again on the bottom. Eight of Swords. Six of Pentacles in reverse again. The Magician in reverse. The Page of Pentacles. Queen of Swords in reverse. And then we have the Fool. So this Queen of Wands is the one who's wondering if there's potential to revisit this. She might be the one who's asking the questions, but she's got this connection with this Empress on her mind. So she's the one questioning, can we try this again? Can we revisit this? Can we see if this can work again? I don't know if this Queen of Wands wants to reinvest in the relationship itself, or if she just wants to revisit the relationship. Maybe she feels like there's still something in it for her. Maybe she feels like there's a reason to see if there's any juice left in this connection. But there's this indication that there is this new beginning on the table, or a new start. A chance to try again. The problem is, I'm not sure. Now, this could go two ways. This could be, because this Empress energy is typically somebody who's very connected to those around her. She's very nurturing. She's very available. She's willing to put in the extra effort in whatever it is that she's doing. If that's a relationship, work, whatever the case may be, a hobby, she puts her all into everything. So there's this question here, is this connection lost? Is it worth trying again? It could be too that there is a question as to whether or not this will be revisited, because perhaps it's a connection of longevity. It could be a family tie. This could be somebody a partner who these two have been connected for a long time, but this Queen of Wands hasn't changed her ways. She's not grown because of the mistakes made or changed. And I'm just going to go ahead and say this person is dwelling in some shadow energy. So I'm not judging this person. I'm just reading the card. But this person has not changed. If she was the reason behind this Empress walking away from the situation in the past, she hasn't changed. So if there is some question as to whether or not there's a second chance for this connection or an opportunity to try again, unless this Empress just feels like giving this another chance for the reason that it's a connection from her past that she feels has value, she might. But I think that she also knows, I think she has a clear understanding of what's going on here, and I think she probably knows this person well enough, this Queen of Wands, to know that she probably hasn't changed. So if she's going to dip her toe in the water again, if she's going to revisit the situation, she already knows that she's dealing with the same kind of energy again. In other words, I don't think that she feels like she's going to be able to manifest a different outcome with regard to the situation, even if this is a second chance. Second chances come along, but not everybody's going to look at them and say, oh gosh, this is a gift that I have another chance. Not everybody's going to look at it that way. It depends on your perspective, and it depends on the situation. So I get the feeling like there's something indicating that this Queen of Wands might have something to gain out of this connection, that maybe this Empress doesn't feel that, you know, she doesn't have anything to get out of this. And I'm not saying you have to feel like you have to get something out of a relationship in order to revisit maybe something that occurred in the past or an ending or something of that nature. But when I say that there's nothing to gain out of this relationship, that emotional connection is a piece of that too. Let's get this last round out for Taurus and see what else we get. There's the Empress again. This time she's in reverse. And then we have the Knight of Cups in reverse. Four of Cups. Nine of Pentacles. The Tower. King of Swords. The Emperor in reverse. And the Moon in the upright position again, with the Moon in reverse down here. Okay, so I feel like I'm reading for this Empress energy. So Aries, again, you can interchange the roles if you're resonating with the reading, but you don't feel like you're this Empress. Maybe you're this Queen of Wands, or somebody on the outside looking in at this situation. I feel like I'm reading for her because her energy is the strongest. So, and I'm going to say this again. For some of you, the second opportunity is a blessing. It's a gift. It's something that you're going to look at and be thankful to have. For others of you, in the case of this situation that I'm reading, people that I'm reading for, the energy is leaning toward not revisiting this connection, not accepting the second chance, because this Empress is not interested. She let this heartbreak go a long time ago. She is very clear as to what the circumstances are and were, and she's not going to revisit the situation. She hasn't changed her mind about how she feels about it. She doesn't feel like, at least at this point in time, there's any reason to revisit or reconnect with this Queen of Wands. It's not something she wants to invest her energy into. She already gave it up. It may have been difficult for her to walk away from the situation in the first place, so she might have spent a considerable amount of energy working through this problem or this connection or whatever occurred in the past. She already invested a lot of time and energy into this, and she's had to recover from it. I get that feeling that she's had to recover from the situation, and she has. I don't think that she's seen that there's any growth or change within this Queen of Wands. In fact, she's doing her own thing with little or no regard to how it affects other people. She's still this type of person. Now, there is nothing wrong with, being an independent individual, doing what you want to do, living life the way you see fit. The problem occurs when there's other people that are negatively affected by the situation, and when that is ignored, That's when you might start seeing people drop off, kind of disappear out of your life. People would just kind of walk away from the situation, say, you know what, if you're going to ignore how this is affecting me, I'm out. I'm done. And that's what's occurring with this Queen of Wands. Now, for whatever reason, I think this Queen of Wands feels compelled to question whether or not there's anything. Okay, if you're gonna, this is not okay for you to just sit here and bite me. Come here. Ouch! Oh, you guys are getting a rare treat. If this were at the beginning of the video, I would have turned this off and had to restart, but I'm at the end of your reading. And she's being naughty. You're being naughty. You can sit on my shoulder. You can't be on the table. Sorry about that, Taurus. She bit me hard. That hurt. She can be such a mean bird. She doesn't know how good she has it. She's a little bit, like I said, she's a little bit like this Queen of Wands. There's this indication in the cards that this Queen of Wands might be dwelling a bit on this Empress who gave up on the situation, who walked away from the situation. Maybe she's questioning why, or she's wondering why, or there's some indication that she can't get away from the fact that this Empress energy walked away from her. She's unable to accept it, or feels uncomfortable about it, or she can't get away from it. With the Eight of Swords here in the upright position, indicating that it might be on her mind a lot. She might be thinking about it. Maybe she feels guilty. Maybe she feels like it's something that she needs to revisit. I don't get the feeling, though, that this Queen of Wands has any intentions of accepting responsibility or trying to change who she is or making things better through her efforts. If there was some kind of conflict or issue between these two, it's not indicated in the card. So again, I get the feeling like this could be something that occurred in the past. Or this was something that was occurring. There was some kind of issue, some kind of discontentment within this connection or relationship or group of relationships where this Empress just threw her hands up in the air and said, I'm out. I'm walking away. She walked away. Now we have a King and Queen of Swords on the table, which I haven't really addressed. And these could be other people involved in the situation who are communicating with one or both of these people. This King of Swords is resting on top of this Justice and Judgment card both in reverse. And I get the feeling this could be somebody who's talking to one or both parties about the unjust circumstances surrounding the situation. But I don't think that he thinks it's a good idea to try again. He might be just saying it's better to just leave well enough alone. I think he has a clear idea of what occurred, what happened, and why this needs to be left alone. You're not getting on the table. You're not going to get on the table. Let me finish reading the cards and then you can get on the table. When she gets on the table, I haven't had her on the table in a long time. She'll run across my cards and sometimes she craps on them. She's a bird. That's what they do. They crap all the time. If you're looking to get a bird, Taurus, let it be known they are messy little creatures. I'm kind of hiding the cage behind me. My son, who actually is the owner of the bird, he cleaned the main cage, her main cage, which is in my bedroom. He cleaned that, and it was really messy. And I asked him to clean this one, but then he got called into work, so he wasn't able to. But I enjoy the company of the bird, but I don't do the bird tasks because she's not my pet. She feels like my pet because I'm always around her, but she's not my pet. Anywho, you can't see the poop. Well, you can see some of it. It's part of the reason why I've angled my table this way so that you can't see the mess on the tray table where the cage is. Taurus is like, can you just get on with it? Or I don't really care about the bird poop or the bird. Just get on with it, says Taurus. Okay, I will. So this Queen of Swords, again, could also be an external party too, but I think this Queen of Swords is a little bit more negative about the situation. In other words, now this King of Swords is saying, look, just leave it alone, leave it in the past, don't deal with it. If there is a second chance here, it's probably not worth taking. This Queen of Swords feels a little bit more negative about the situation. She could be talking smack about one or both of these people. I get the feeling like she's like, you know what? Nobody's invested in this. Nobody wants to revisit this. We don't need to get into this again. It's almost like she's kind of got this. She may be clear about the situation as well, but she also is downplaying it because I don't think that there is a sense of. It may seem like there's a second chance or another opportunity to revisit the situation. At the same time, I don't think there really is. Or at least that's what this Queen of Swords is saying. There's, you know what? Nobody's emotionally invested in this. Even if the conversation comes up or an opportunity arises, nobody's invested in this enough to take the second chance. Oops, and there she goes onto the floor. The Queen of Swords is going to have to stay on the floor because I don't like her negative attitude. I'm just kidding. She might be right, Taurus. I don't know. I don't know your circumstances. But I'm not going to bend down and get her because Carmilla's on my shoulder. Carmilla would fall on the floor. Okay, let's get a Dreams of Gaia tarot card for, is that the one? Is that the one I'm taking? This one came out by itself? Yeah, I'm going to take this one. I made too big of a deal about it now. We have Destiny in reverse. I think that this is probably a perfect card for this reading. So I'm going to read this. It's a potential blockage if it's in the reverse. It is one of the major arcana cards in this deck. And I think if you're resonating with this reading, Taurus, you'll resonate with this card. So let's go ahead and read this and wrap it up. And it's just about 3/4 of the page. So I'll display the card for you in the upright. It is a nice image. Lots going on in this card. So here we go, Taurus. When the Destiny card appears reversed, it cautions you against following a path of instant gratification and ease. Do not be fooled into believing that once you have determined your destiny, making it manifest will be free of difficulties or problems. When is any quest easy? When does the hero or heroine of any story move from where they are to where they want to be without effort or sacrifice? Some of the obstacles you will face will be self-made and born of your insecurities and doubts, while others will be placed in your path by those who might not understand or believe in your destiny. Sometimes the people who try to steer you away from your search are the people who love you, people who do not want to hurt or disappoint. It takes great love and conviction to say no to those who might have other plans for your future, but to have your destiny manifest, you may just find yourself in a position where it is necessary to do just that. If you do not, you may find yourself being thwarted again and again. When the Destiny card is reversed in your reading, it is helpful to remember that meeting your destiny does not necessarily simply happen, nor is it likely to happen overnight. Therefore, prepare yourself for the process by releasing expectations of instant gratification. Instead, prepare to pay your dues, fight your demons and monsters, and overcome obstacles that may well feel insurmountable. To do so, let go of those fears and doubts that might well have you procrastinating and wanting to turn back or turn away. Finally, to make your destiny manifest, you might also need to learn more at this time. You have gifts and talents, but to turn them into something practical and tangible will take some time, devotion, and dedication. There you go, Taurus. So honestly, this card feels like it could be advice for either the Empress, the Queen of Wands or both. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to read too much further into this because I do feel like this is an either or situation for those of you watching. I'm just really realizing my tripod is starting to shrink down. Anyway, another distraction. This is an either or situation. I think the universe is handing you an opportunity to revisit the situation, and the question is whether or not you're ready for it or whether or not you want it, frankly. But the universe is handing you a second chance with regard to this relationship, this connection. Depending on who you are in your own circumstances, you may decide to jump towards this opportunity or you may decide to leave it in the dust. I got the feeling from this reading that I'm reading for someone who's going to leave it in the dust. And this card could be indicating advice for this Queen of Wands, who maybe thought, you know, I've got this second chance, I'm going to go ahead and go for it. The problem is, a second chance with regard to a connection requires the other person's dedication and desire for the reconnection and the second chance also. And this Queen, or this Empress, there's the poop. I told you she was going to do it. Fortunately, I have a paper towel, but I'm not going to interrupt because I'm going to finish this reading for you, Taurus. But anyway, there may be another opportunity for this Queen of Wands, or she thinks that there is, but the truth of the matter is, it takes two to tango, and I'm not sure that that's going to happen at this point in time. So, but I think it's still up in the air at the same time. I think that this could be, maybe there'll be a third chance or a third opportunity to, or multiple opportunities to revisit this, depending on circumstances and those who are involved in the situation and whether or not they're invested enough to revisit it. So I'm going to leave that here, Taurus. I hope the reading was helpful. I hope that it resonated. I really appreciate you joining me today. Thank you so much. Carmilla says goodbye, and thank you for joining us on the Fool's Journey Tarot. By the way, if it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to. I'll see you next time, Taurus. Bye.